Brewers Log September 24th, 2020. I came down tonight to check on to see where my bucket was at, and I found the bubbler was not moving at all, and it appeared to be that it had got clogged up. I moved it around a little bit. It is now flowing, but with as much gunk as it is in there, I'm going to take it off and clean it and put it back on, or add a new bubbler on it. Either way, it needs to be cleaned, and it was clogged, and the bucket was ready to explode. When I pressed on the top of the bucket, it was very tight, and that was what it actually released, started getting bubbles going again. And so I know that I was probably a day away from possible explosion because there was nothing getting out of it. So you can see that I just messed with it, and now it has stopped bubbling again. So yeah, that is not a good sign when it starts doing that, where it doesn't bubble and then it bubbles really fast. This bubbler is definitely needs to be cleaned, and otherwise I'm going to have an explosion and have a mess down here. From looking at the top here, it is possible it already exploded and put some stuff on down here, from especially since I noticed the paper towel that I had here with some stuff drying has some stuff on the corner, and it wasn't that way when I left it. So that definitely tells me that at some point this was not working correctly, and it definitely needs to be cleaned. It also shows that I probably filled the bucket too full, and next time I'll have to remember to not fill the bucket as full, so that next time it hopefully doesn't go bubble over like this. Well, we'll see what happens once I get a new bubbler on. So this is less than 2 minutes after cleaning out the bubbler and putting it back on. It immediately went from level on the vodka to bubbling away. That definitely tells me that there was a lot of carbonation and caught in there, and that I definitely needed to clean it out. I'm gonna have to watch it a little closer because it's only been about every other day that I've been checking on these, because this week I haven't had as much time. Tonight, hopefully, I will get a chance to also rack some of the stuff on the back row, but the bucket definitely has to be watched because of the fact that it will foul the bubbler, and if the bubbler gets clogged up like it was there, no carbonation is getting out, and I've got a ticking time bomb. So I thought I would definitely make sure I showed that, because that is something to definitely worry about. I find it interesting that after racking, both of the brown sugars ended up with more liquid. They didn't have as much Lee in the bottom of the bottle, so I'm figuring that made a difference in it, but I didn't expect to see that much of a difference. I'm still going to top them off with some Musselman's cider that I have available, but I thought it was very interesting how the brown sugars seem to keep more liquid than what the Nate's honey did. I'm used to seeing that with differences in juice or cider, but I'm not seen that before, with the only difference being the sugars put into it. But I haven't made as much cider with the Nate's honey, so it's possible that that contains more sugar and takes off and creates a lot more yeast than what the brown sugar does. But I guess it's something I'll have to watch for. So I finished racking the 4 gallons of Musselman's cider that I had on the counter. They've all been topped off with a little bit of Musselman's juice that I had in the fridge, or that I had ready to go in the fridge. So they now are fully topped off. I tried them before I added any more juice to them. They're not quite where I want them to be. The flavor is just not what I really like. I don't know if it's because it's 5 months since I started them. The Nate's honey just doesn't have the honey characteristics I want from it. It tastes a lot more like just a hard cider. It doesn't have any of the honey flavors to it. Brown sugar at least has some of the molasses flavors, but it's still not quite what I would have expected. We'll see what happens after they sit for a few more days. Now that I've added a little more apple juice to it, we'll see if they take off again. If they don't, then probably Sunday I will put them in the fridge, and we'll see where I can go from there. But that's what I was able to get done tonight.